Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. It will be a very quick one. So I got asked yesterday about the high probability zones that I liked and when or where I sold the house and took the one-to-one from the 50%, right? So you will actually have to wait for a valid zone to form, right? So it forms when we close above the last valid pullback high, right? So this is a valid zone. Then we go and take its low, right? And then we break structure again, okay? So this break of structure here, qualify this as a very high probability zone for me to take the one-to-one from, okay? So let me repeat. So we have a valid zone, right? Then we break structure above it, validating it, okay? Then we take its low into a higher time frame fair value gap. It's usually a higher time frame fair value gap. So we are in the 5-second chart, okay? And the fair value gap was this one, okay? So we had a portion still unmitigated in here. And if we go to the 5-second chart, okay? So when you go to the 5-second chart, you will see that this low was the low of this zone, okay? So these are the zones you don't trust that much, okay? So you wait for them to sweep them, all right? They will take the high, and then you grab your fibs, you decide whatever model you want to take, okay? But for me, it's usually the 50%, okay? So these are my high probability zones, okay? I don't want this video to be like very long, but these are my high probability zones. You can just take them mechanically, right? Don't care about higher time frame, fair value gap, or anything. You see that we were trending in here, okay? So the philosophy behind this is a valid zone, so this is now a flip. But remember, we are trending bullish here. So first flip is usually the fake flip. Then we validate and do the real move. And then you put all your money in this 50% and take the one-to-one. Okay? So we will usually find lots of these every day and in all time frames. Okay? So I saw one yesterday here, right? The one I showed you yesterday, okay? So we had this hourly valid zone, right? So we take its high, then we take its low, right? Into what? Let me show you. So this is usually for our fair value gap. Yes, exactly. So we had this fair value gap in here in the higher time frame. So price revisited it by taking the hourly zone, right? So they visited the H4 fair value gap, took this liquidity, and then they broke structure in here, right? So this is now our very high probability zone, right? What you do, so you wait gently for price to reach your 50%, you take your first position, and you can add a second position at the 666 and take in your one-to-one, right? So in yesterday's video, I made an analysis based on the H1, yeah? So I was waiting for some kind of bearishness here and here. But when I ended up the video, I saw that we only swept this zone on the H4, right? Into what? Again? A daily fair value gap, right? So if this closes above here, it will make this again our high probability zone, right? So it's a fractal idea, and you can find it in every time frame, right? So let's go back to the M1. Let me see if I can find another example here for you guys. Okay. All right. So this is actually a good example. So this was a valid zone. We were bullish, so we take it slow. Then we close above, making this a very high probability zone, right? But the news or CPI week didn't hit the 50%, so they just rallied, okay? So this is the idea. You can find it in every time frame. I like to take it in the 5-second charts, right? The only place I don't take it is when we take a higher time frame, okay? I don't trust it, okay? So this is now, look, this is maybe our model in the 5-second chart, right? But we took this higher time frame high, and this is no longer our high probability zone, okay? So when we take a higher time frame high, we don't take it anymore, right? Here is it again, okay? So we have this valid zone. Is this valid? No. We have this valid. Yeah, it was valid. So here it was the valid zone. Then we take it slow, right? Then we close above, making this now our very high probability zone, okay? So this is how it works. This is how fractal it is, okay? Now, this is the last one before we took this higher time frame high, okay? So we took this one, we took it slow, right? We took it slow again here, and then we break. But since we took this higher time frame high in here, this setup won't work. But this one who didn't worked, okay? So I always avoid taking it on the high of the range setups. I always wait for retracement to the at least 50%, right? Now, where I like to take these setups is when price is going slowly towards an objective, okay? So here we were kind of bullish, right, since yesterday, so we were putting higher highs. London, we take this inducement in here, right? So we don't close, we change the state of delivery in here, so we are bullish, okay? So in here, I will go to the lower time frame and try to find my setup, right? I won't go now because it will make the video too long, but you got the idea in here, right? So here we mitigated a 5 or a 1 minute fair value gap on the 5-second, right? It printed the structure, okay? Now they came here, they took this SNDR low, okay? And then they changed the state of delivery, okay? So if you're not trusting like blindly again the model here, right? What do? You just wait. So here we were respecting up candles, right? So we were not breaking or closing above up candles, right? Okay, so we were respecting this, we respected this. These are maybe 1 second money maker setups, right? But the moment we close above the last up candle that put the low, it was this one in this case, right? So the moment we close here above, so this candle here closed above this candle's high, right? You just spam the buy button, you put your SL in here, and you target either the 1-to-1 for the moneymaker setup if you don't want to be risky, or if you know we are in a trend day, just like me, you can target the week high. Okay, so we wick the high, then we take the zone, right? So we got a little bit bearish, right? So again, now structure changed here, right? So we got our 1-to-1s, right? And as always, if you don't trust your setups, you wait for your breaker or your confirmation. Okay, so confirmation like this one. Okay, so we have this low that put this high, we wait for a candle to break under it, and usually they will revisit the 50%. Or, as I said in yesterday's video, you take the OTE of this leg, you enter, gotta be fast, right? You enter at the OTE and you target the 1-to-1 of the zone or the weak low responsible of mitigating the 50%. Okay, so in here we had no structure, but I can see some crazy thing happening in here. So, but this is not something everybody knows. But yeah, risky trade here because of the V-shaped recovery in here, right? That's it. There may be now again revisiting this, okay? Or let me check on the higher time frame if we mitigated some kind of M5 FVG. So we're playing in M5 FVGs and order block areas. So this was just a higher time frame pullback for more longs. Okay, something happened just before I closed the video. So we had this last 5-second bearish zone. Okay, so same thing happened again. So we had this structure here, this candle that put this low or this high, right? The moment we close under it, we bring the OTE fib, right? And you take it from the 0.618 or the 666 if you want, like the same, okay? And then if you are conservative, right, you always only target the 1-to-1 of the zone, which will give you decent RR, okay? So now I'm gonna end the video and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Ciao, ciao. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any futures update. And if you want to dive deeper into the moneymaker setup, check out the playlist that will pop up in the end screen. It's packed with everything you need to get started. Remember, everything I do is free, including our thriving Discord community. Join us and let's keep growing together. Ciao, ciao.